everyone, welcome back to my channel and welcome to this video where we are going to talk about the new palette from ABH. This is called Rose Metals. I was like, is it rose gold? No, it's Rose Metals. I am going to do two looks like I always do, a first and a second impression. We're going to do some swatches and I'm going to let you know if I think that this is the same good quality as the Nouveau palette, because you know I really enjoy the quality of that one. If you haven't been there before, do consider subscribing. I upload about 5 videos a week, all about beauty, all about makeup, and I would love to see you in my next one as well. So I bought this palette at the ABH website. It is the exact same size as the Nouveau. They are equally as thick. This one had a little bit of more of a woven structure to it, and this one is more like a shiny, like a faux, almost like a faux leather. It also has this really pretty detail on the squares down here, and yeah, I just think that this one looks really nice. And again, I know a lot of people really hating that like velvet thing that they had from before, and this one also does not have that. It has a mirror inside and it has the same amount of shadows as the Nouveau palette, and it is the same pan size as Nouveau. Here you can see them a little bit like side by side, and you can see that they're not really dupes at all. I think that this one is pretty shimmer heavy, more than I thought it was going to be for some reason when I bought it. The reason why I did buy this one is because I really enjoyed the quality of the Nouveau palette, and I wanted to see if I thought that this one had the same quality or not. There's a couple of shades here that looks like mattes with some shimmer in it or slight satin shades. So I think we're going to try those out. Like, I'm gonna try and use those as I would use mattes, because I'm not gonna do all matte looks, and then I don't mind if there are some shimmer or some sheen to any of the shades, to be honest, because that's only something I mind if I'm doing all matte looks. For me, what is missing in this palette is something for the inner corner. I'm sure that this probably, I haven't swatched this myself yet, this could probably be used as an inner corner highlight. It is very, very reflective, but I prefer a matte inner corner. But maybe we can try and see what we can do with this one, because of course I want to do looks with only this one. Like I said, I did buy it myself from ABH website. I think it's available at Sephora as well. It is $55, which is the same price as the Nouveau palette. I think that was everything. Let's jump in. So I was thinking I would play with the warm tones for the first look, and then would do something a little bit more cool tone for the second look. So I think I'm gonna start with this one that's called Dune, and then Sun Rose. This one here is like almost like a Melba, like a peachy popsicle orange kind of a shade. I will blend it out with that one, but I'm gonna start with the one that's called Dune, and that is such a nice reddish brown. Oh, oh. Who needs a man when you have this? Oh, there's something about the ABH mattes. I mean, they used to be good, but did they used to be this good? That is nice. It has a lot of kick up in the pan though, so don't be as violent in the pan as I am. Oh, but that is very sexy. I'm not gonna do any advanced looks. I'm basically just gonna be seeing what shades fit together, how do they look on the eyes, do they jive together, can you make cohesive looks with this palette? So we're not gonna try and reinvent the wheel here. We're just gonna try and do some cohesive looks. And if you haven't been here before, maybe you didn't know, but I love really dramatic looks. I prefer colorful looks, but to be fair, I've been really into dramatic neutral looks as well lately. I feel like I can jive with that too, as long as I get the drama, and this color is so bringing the drama. I'm just starting with mapping out where I want it, and then I'll start wiggling a little bit on the edge before we blend it out with that Sun Rose. So this is the Sun Rose shade, and I'm just gonna buff that a little bit on the edge. I'm just picking up very little on the brush, so I'm not packing this on in any way, shape or form. I'm just buffing it on the edge so that we can have a somewhat... I didn't want to start with the lightest color because I wanted to give this deeper color its opportunity to shine a little bit, and I really feel like it had the opportunity to shine, because look at how wonderful and deep that is. It's so sultry and so wonderful, and I don't feel like it translates that warm either now that I have it on my eyes. It reads a lot more neutral, even though it's red. I don't understand really how that is, but I'm not arguing with it. So do I want to do the orange or do I want to do the pink? I feel like I want to do the pink just because I want to see how that looks. I'm just very intrigued because that is what I was thinking first, but now this is reading very orange. But like, this looks beautiful, but I need to spray this. I can already tell that if I don't spray it, I am gonna get some fallout. So I spray it to prevent fallout. And I'm gonna put that on my lid. Oh, what a... and still I got some fallout. I put too much product on the brush. That is a really nice burgundy, like dark sooty color. I will say it reads even darker on the eye than I thought somehow it was gonna be. But that is really, really pretty. I can see this palette becoming a lot of people's favorite special occasion, going out, going to dinner, going to a club, even like, you know, Christmas dinner, kind of like special occasions or going out kind of a palette, because it reads so sultry and sexy, and I think a lot of people would appreciate that. I'm cleaning this brush off a little bit, and I want to use this one that's called Rose Quartz. It seems to be more of a satin shade, and I'm not 100% sure how this is gonna translate, but I want to use a little bit of this. Just so it's not super dark. Oh my god, that was too much on my brush. Ah! Abort! Send help! I feel like this color is a little bit too close to like my skin color, but like just cool toned. But this is very, very, very pigmented. I can tell you that. It's just a very, almost like, I don't know, the color scheme I expect from vampires. Is this making sense? I don't know. Let us see then if I can use a little bit of the Heavenly, which is that lighter color. Why am I picking up so much? I don't know if this is enough inner corner highlight for me, but that's also maybe a preference thing. I like having something that's light in my inner corners. I am using a foundation. I am wearing this one today, the Fenty one. I have it in number 9. And this is a light medium foundation. So if you are a fair to light, I don't think that this palette will bring an inner corner highlight for you. Just saying, because this is barely an inner corner highlight for me. But I really love the other shades, and it is looking very sultry and sexy. Okay, let me finish this look up and we can see what it looks like with mascara and everything. I'm in the middle of putting on some lashes. So this is like one eye with lashes and one eye without lashes, just so you can see the difference. I really like how smoky this, like, I don't know, there's something about this. It is smoky and sexy and sultry, still being warm, but it's like a warm grunge. I don't know, there's something very... The undertones, I like the undertones. I do wish though that this had an inner corner highlight. The Nouveau had a, let me show you again. This shade here is very pigmented and was a really beautiful inner corner highlight. I do wish that I could have something like that in this palette, but I really like this look though. So let me fix another lash. We get something for the waterline and I think we're done. Oh my god, I cannot talk and do this. Well, this is very sultry and sexy and I really enjoy it. I like a dramatic look. I really do like a dramatic look. Do I like this more than I like the Nouveau? That I don't know, but the quality is amazing. It's more of the color story at this point. But I'm gonna do one more. I'm gonna do one more and I wanna use these like more like almost grayish, charcoaly, pewtery taupes. Is this making sense? It's like dark, cool tone, smoky taupes, and I am about that. So let's get into look number 2, but so far the quality is just as good as with the other palette. Time for look number 2, and I really want to play, like I said, with those taupey shades, but I'm gonna start with this one. It's called Nouveau, and I am just gonna blurb that in the outer part of my crease. I don't know how much I am going to be using the other mattes. There is a matte called Ashes, and I might use that a little bit. But I just want to put this one in the outer crease because for me and my eye shape, I like having something dark out here that is somewhat matte. That is a beautiful color. So I'm not going to pull this in here. I'm just keeping it out here. And I'm just trying to add and blend as I go. This is a Refer 14. These Refer brushes do have natural bristles, but those are really good at picking up product and not only packing it on, but also blending. Natural bristles, these are goat hair, are usually not as soft as synthetic bristles, but personally I prefer how these blend because I feel like sometimes synthetic bristles, they just don't move the product or disperse the product in the way that I want them to. So I think I'm gonna leave it something like this. And I might use a little bit of Ashes in the end to blend the edges, but I just want to have like a dramatic blob in the outer corner. So I think what I'm gonna do is that I'm gonna take this one and just put that in the middle on the edge, and then this one on the inner part of the lid. I don't know if that makes sense. This one is called Nocturne, which makes me want to play League of Legends, even though he's not in the current TFT set, but hey, that's okay. Kaisa is back. Kaisa is back in the TFT set, if you play. If you didn't know, we named our dog that we adopted after a character in League of Legends, Kaisa. Kaisa is currently in Heat. That's also fun. Never had a girl dog before. So yeah, it's loads of fun. Fun for the entire family. I will say Tesla is really cool about it. He's honestly doesn't really care that much. That looks really cool. And how nice is that shadow? And if you see a lot of texture, I mean, that's my lids being 38. Thank you very much. Yeah, I think I will blend a little bit of the Ashes shade that I talked about. That lighter cool tone matte on this afterwards. Now I'm just adding a little bit more of the matte here. So this is Haze, and you can see I did spray my brush. And we're gonna put this in the inner part. That is such a nice tarnished silver. It's like an old silver, and I keep adding too much to my brush and spilling all over the place. The texture of this one in the pan is almost like a Super Shock. It's very, very mushy and creamy in the pan. That is really cool though. Let me see if I can buff a little bit of Ashes on the edge. So Ashes is this color here. It's like a gray taupe. And I'm just gonna take a little bit and just buff on the edge. Yeah, it's definitely working. Better than anticipated, actually. That looks so nice. It's a little bit of fallout. I will say that this palette is very lightly pressed. So maybe do not go in as heavy-handed as I am. Let me use some of the Ashes under my eyes as well. I'm gonna add a little black in my waterline. I feel like this look calls for that, right? It's a very sultry, sexy, cool tone, but not gray look. And I do appreciate a look that's cool tone, but not gray. You know, grays are not my favorite type of eyeshadows to have on. I like it. I like it. Do I like this as much as I like the Nouveau? I don't think I do. but I still think that this is really sexy. Okay, let's have some final thoughts. Okay, there we are. This is the second look. I like it, but here's the thing. All the things I've been saying throughout this video, I don't love this color scheme, this one, as much as I love this one. I felt like this one had a little bit more variety. There is something about this one, and this is me. I feel like this is very mid-tone and deep, and it is also very like grungy, smoky, dark. There's something about this that just brings all the looks to be, I want more contrast. I don't know. I don't hate the quality of this. The quality is beautiful. All the shadows have performed beautiful, but I don't love the color story of this one as much as I love the color story of this one. This one is truly a really amazing palette. This one, quality-wise, it's not for me. But if you like these kind of tones, there's definitely nothing wrong with the quality, but I would recommend the Nouveau palette over this one, just for my preferences. I will link my video down below where I am using this palette in case you want to get some inspiration, but there's nothing wrong with the palette. I was just kind of hoping that there would be more contrast between the shades, but I mean, this look is kind of killer, let's be honest. Did you pick this palette up? Please let me know your thoughts down below. I hope you're having an absolutely amazing day, and I will see you again tomorrow for a new video. Bye!